Terrible yellow color. Okay. Let's see. How do we share this? This is super annoying. River, honey, you are really getting in the way, Bubba. Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's get it.
Well, there's nobody watching it, so 0.
Oh, we're already streaming.
Yes,
Okay.
I had to start it, and it's super yellow, so I'm gonna turn off all these lights because we don't need them. Hi, Lexi. We're just getting organized.
Hello, everybody. You hear us all right? Yeah.
See, we get a lot of light from this monitor. Better.
Great. Audio's fine. Great. Good to hear. River is not napping. River's decided to party.
Not napping, not going to bed. There, we need light. We'll make it brighter with the thing.
We'll add more lights as we need them.
Yeah. Fix the dress. Guys, I'm sorry to make you jump over to another stream. This happens every time we try to do YouTube. That's right.
Yeah.
We try to schedule and so that you can get the link and that we all have the chat, and then it doesn't let me actually make it go live. It doesn't let me launch it. So I'm sorry about that. It is super annoying. But yeah, thank you for joining us for a live stream. We're going to wait just a couple more minutes for a few more people to join because the link was bad. So I'm going to share our new link on Facebook so that people know that they can join.
We can talk to River while we're waiting.
Yeah, thanks for your patience.
It's a little warm here today, so River's wearing the appropriate attire. I think we brought back the California weather with us.
Yeah, that was the wrong YouTube. See, I'm like overwhelmed and I'm trying so hard to make sure we have everything organized, and I organized the heck out of this and then it didn't want to work. So we're in Nova Scotia. It's 7 o'clock where we are. I know for Ollie it's after midnight, and for the Californians it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
4-hour difference.
Yeah. Just 1 second. You're all awesome. Thanks for being patient. I'm just sending people the new link, and of course, my computer is now deciding to go super slow. Do do do
So
do do do. All right. Thank you for joining us. I just thought that we haven't done a live stream in forever. I think since I was pregnant. Just going to let them know on Discord because Ollie's here, but others might want to join. Going live now. There we go.
Great.
Okay. Now where's my main window again? There we go.
Yay.
Whew. That is stressful. Okay, hi everybody. It's really nice to see you. We want to talk about our time at the California Mermaid Convention. Thank you so much for joining us. We haven't done a live stream in a really long time. It's a lot to set up even for just us. And now with this guy here, it's even crazier. River is going through like a sleep regression, and he will not sleep. He will not sleep.
This has been all day.
All day. He's been like this. Yeah. If you haven't seen yet, I've gone blonde. I have mixed feelings about it. The hairdresser did a beautiful job. I'm just so used to being a redhead that I'm not really... Like, I don't really know how to style my makeup or my outfits yet. And my hair is so straight. Like, it doesn't curl at all. I'm going to check the other chat just to be sure. Yeah, okay. So, still some people over there. jump over to, there we go. Just reminding them. All right, yeah. So I guess we'll get started and some people will jump in as they can. So apologies for the first 5 minutes being a little bit wonky there. Yeah, I'm going to use my phone to help me remember like everything we did on the trip because goodness, we did a lot, didn't we? So first of all, we took 6 flights. So 3 flights there and 3 flights back with this guy being just like this. It was really intense and international flights. And we traveled with Merman Equinox, Gregory from our team, and that was good. I'm going to put my new crown on so I don't forget to talk about all my stuff. Isn't that pretty? I got that at Evangeline's. Here. Do you want to sue? So you're basically looking at why we never have time for anything. Because every time we try to do anything, this is our life right now. Yeah, so it was 6 flights, 3 flights there, 3 flights back. It took 12 hours. Okay. Bub. Just give him to me. He's going to fuss until I take him, I think. We're going to try this, and if it's going to be too hard...
I'll go for a walk for a little bit if he needs a walk.
Well, if it's going to be too hard, then maybe we just won't do live streams until he's older. I don't know. It is his bedtime, but he won't go to bed, so... Oh, we have 8 people now. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about the California Mermaid Convention. And River, who won't go to bed and was supposed to be asleep for this. So 6 flights there, 3 flights there, 3 flights back. I've said this like 10 times. Feel free to jump in, John.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, got it. Merman Equinox came with us and helped us. He was fantastic. And the flights there were pretty good. River actually slept through all of them.
Here, I'll take him for a walk.
And we... River slept through all of them, and we didn't really have any major issues other than... like we couldn't do anything except take care of him. You know, like when you're on a long flight, you might read a book or use your tablet or watch a show or something. Couldn't do anything like that. So it was 12 hours of just like holding him while he slept and being in cramped quarters and trying not to fall, worrying about diaper explosions. So it was pretty intense.
We had a couple of those.
And we did find that like you know, it was pretty intense trying to get through security. They had to like look at my formula and stuff like that, which was kind of weird, but I guess that's what they have to do to be safe. I think Daddy's going to put Coco Melon on for you. Yeah, you're so busy. We'll turn it down because we'll get copyright. Okay, we're going to put his tablet on for him and then we can like chat a little easier. Thanks for your patience, guys. We're new parents, right? Although we're not that new anymore. He's gonna be 10 months on the 12th, so that's pretty wild. Okay, let's let Mommy try to like get her brain back in order. So when we were going through, security actually saw us with the baby and like helped rush us through. And when we had to go through customs, we were gonna miss our connecting flight. And there was like 100 people in front of us, and they saw River crying, and the customs officer picked us out of the crowd and was like, come on. Excuse me. Someone must be talking about me. I'm sneezing. Yeah, so the customs officer got us through, which was really great. And we made our flight. I didn't think we were going to. And we left at like 4 in the morning in Halifax time. And we got there at 1 p.m. because we gained 4 hours in traveling to California, which was nice. So we had more of the day. We spent that first day just getting organized. River and I checked out the hotel and the hotel pool while Sean made runs to get the car set up, and we reserved a car seat so we wouldn't have to bring it with us. We did River on the airplane as a lap infant, which meant we only had to pay taxes on him and he could sit on our lap, and you can only do that until babies are a year old. When we do a flight again, obviously we'll have no choice but to bring a car seat and use that on the airplane. But I kind of wish we did that this time, even though it would have been more expensive, because it would have been nice to have our arms free. So That would have been nice, but so anyway, we did all that, and then while Sean was out doing that, we River and I went and looked at the pool, and the pool was pretty dirty. And like, when I say pretty dirty, like really dirty. The hotel was like understaffed because of COVID.
Yeah, they all are.
And it wasn't a bad hotel. Like, it was nice. It was like 2 suites together. So 2 bedrooms with king size beds, and then a living room area with a pull-out couch. And we had 2 more folk with us. So Sean and River and I were in one bed. Mermaid and Equinox was in another, and then Meryl Atlas was in another. And then we had like a little kitchenette, and we had this nice big mirror and makeup space, and at the shared bathroom. And so they're all getting everything ready. River and I go check out the pool, and it's so gross. There's bird poop everywhere, like all over the pool deck, all over the furniture. You know it's in the pool because it's everywhere. There's no way it couldn't be. They're like used Band-Aids on the side. And of course, we don't realize how dirty it is until we get in the water. And then we're kind of looking around, and Gregory goes underwater, and he comes up and his eyes are all red. And it's like, oh no, like maybe you shouldn't have opened your eyes. It's a pretty dirty pool. So, and then we go in, and we can't figure out how to get the shower on, and we don't know if it's broken or what, but there's no like obvious lever for turning the shower. So we go and like we call maintenance, and it takes them like a day before they come up to get it, right?
Oh, they just didn't know. Every time I told them, they would say, no, it works fine, and it did. We just didn't know how to work it.
Like, it was very bizarre. How it ended up working is like the tap itself that the water came out of, there was like a hidden lever that you could like pull up, but it was not obvious at all. Like, I don't know how they work around the world, but there's usually like this little piece, and you like pull it up like that. Well, this was like the entire top of the tap like came off. It was very weird.
We just didn't understand how it worked, and as soon as they showed us, I felt completely stupid.
Well, I mean,
and it worked fine.
Nobody in our room could figure it out.
No.
The front desk staff gave us cookies, which was super nice of them, and
great.
they were really excited. And so, like, our first day was just getting used to things. Thursday, we spent the day, we went to Evangeline's, which is the big costume store, and I got a few items there. So I got this lovely crown there. I had wanted one of these the last time I was in California, and I was sad that I didn't buy them. You can get some of these on Amazon in Canada, but not ones as nice as the ones as I found at Evangeline's, and it was actually cheaper than what I would get back home. So I got that. And I kind of built myself an outfit for the different events out of things that I bought at Evangeline's and things that I brought with me. So if you saw my pictures from the dive bar, this was like a really pretty shimmery rhinestone and pearls translucent top. And I wore it over a bodysuit with a skirt that I had bought from Hannah Fraser. So that was pretty cool. I also bought this corset that I wore for the parade, and this is pretty cool. Again, I could find some of these on Amazon, but not ones as nice as this or as well priced as this. So getting it at Evangeline's was great. And if you saw my parade outfit, I got this custom made on Etsy. They're like festival shorts, and I love them. I don't know what else I'm going to do with them outside of the California Mermaid Convention, but they're sequins and beaded, and they're high-waisted, which is great for me because I have my C-section still. It's really sore, like the C-section scar. So that was cool. So yeah, I put that together, and I made that outfit. And I got this there. I love Evangeline's. I know when Faith did her review, she wasn't as impressed, but like for me, it's not meant to be like a Spirit Halloween. It's like a specialty store. Like, so you can go themed. So if you want to do like the Wild Wild West, well, there's a corner where it's ceiling to floor, Wild Wild West costumes and props. And then you want to do like ancient Greece, there's like a whole section for that. Mermaids, there's a section for that. Fairy tales, there's a section for that. Raves and festivals, there's a section for that. I got this dress for like $30, and I adapted it to wear to the ball, not realizing it's a knockoff Game of Thrones dress because it was in like the Roman section, right? So I had it on, and I put on my white wig, and I was like, why does this look so familiar? Oh, it's a Khaleesi dress. Maybe I don't want to be Khaleesi for the mermaid convention. So I borrowed a red wig and I had a crown and everything. But yeah, it was just $30, and I'm gonna do some underwater photos with it. I really like it. This isn't something I could find really here for the same price or easily. So I love that. And this is the crown I got to go with it, which reminds me a bit of Persephone. It actually has skulls on it. I don't know if you can see it. But see, those are little gold skulls. So I wore that. Turn them like this. Yeah, so I wore that with the dress and the wig and everything, and I really, really liked it. I thought this is really pretty, and I would wear again, and it wasn't expensive. It was pretty cheap, actually. So I really loved all of the stuff I got from Evangeline's. Thursday night, we decided to host dinner at our hotel for all of our friends who were arriving. So we had like Mermaid Glimmer. It was actually her birthday. We invited her. Mermaid Echo and their partner Aiden came. Mermaid Star, who I've known for a decade. If you look back in my videos from 10 years ago, Mermaid Star is in those videos. She's mentoring me. There's videos of us in Florida, my very first silicone tail, and Star was like training me and stuff, and that was really, really cool. So now 10 years later, we get back together. She's living in California. She used to live in Florida. So she came to dinner, and that was so fun. And we had our team, and Mermaid Atlantis came, who I sold my old silicone tail to. So that was great. So we just had like this nice dinner. And there's just like some cultural differences that we noticed right away that we're not used to. So first of all, our waitress was like so mad that we had a large group. It annoyed her so bad, even though we went down hours and hours before. And we asked, like, can we bring a group to the restaurant? Like, do you guys have the staff for that? Do you have the food for that? Because it's like an off season. They don't have a lot of staff. We didn't want to just, dump 10 people on them and have them not be able to handle it. And they said, yes, they said they could do it. So that's why we chose, it was kind of easier to have everyone come to us. And we had River. So he's jet lagged. He woke up at like 4:30 in the morning that day, which is like 8:30 in the morning for him. So it was just easier for us to host something. So like our waitress was so rude, and people were like talking to her, and she was walking away. She's like an older woman. And I try to have patience for people in the food service industry because I know that it's like a really difficult industry and people are not kind, but she's just like so rude. I remember we were like ordering, and she would like mock what we were ordering. So I was reading like the menu, and I went, oh, I'll have a hamburger. And then I was looking at the add-ons, and I'm like, I don't like mushrooms, don't like onions. I go, oh, I'll have a hamburger with cheese. And she goes, so a cheeseburger? Like, I feel like she should have had a cigarette, like, so a cheeseburger. So that was kind of funny. And where we live, getting a check for all 10 people on one check, that's not like a thing. Like, we don't, like, by default, they usually ask you how to break up the check, or they give them to you individually. It's very, unless you go to like a super expensive place, they don't typically, the default is not to just give you everything on one check. So we weren't really prepared for that. We're like 10 different people. We have different currencies, people from different countries. So we can't really just like all pile in cash. We didn't have any cash on us. So we had to ask her to break the checks, and that annoyed her, right? And then we asked, and while we were ordering stuff, we were ordering drinks, and she didn't know how to make certain drinks, and it was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. And then at the end, like here in Halifax, like if like Canada, really, if we pay with a credit card and we sign the paper, that's that. But she wanted us to sign like 2 papers and fill 2 papers out. And she's like, one is your copy, one is my copy. But here, like, okay, I just sign 1 copy and then I take the other one for me. I don't sign 2 copies. But she got really mad that we didn't sign 2 copies. And she was like, in America, you have to sign 2 copies. I'm like, okay, lady.
But it was nice to see everybody. And we get the chance to finally catch up with people we haven't seen in 3, 4, 10 years.
Yeah, and River, it was a great way to introduce River to everybody. Like he really enjoyed meeting everybody and trying all the different foods. Aiden and I both got, was it cheesecake? I got creme brulee cheesecake. Yeah. That's what it was. Yep. We got creme brulee cheesecake, and that was really good.
Everyone's still ramping up, so they didn't have a ton of selection, but it really worked out. And it's just nice to see everybody in a private environment and catch up before
an air conditioning
craziness started. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then we kind of hung out at the pool again because it was cleaner this time, and people kind of stayed with us for a bit. And then River and I went to bed, and we were up at the crack of dawn on Friday morning because Merman Jax was supposed to do some local news and he was delayed, so he asked Mer Echo and I to fill in. So we are trying to get out the door because it's live news, and we're trying to get there for 8 a.m. and we're trying to get our 2 merfolk who are with us, like, okay, you need to hurry up. We're trying to get the baby. We're trying to pack everything that we need, and we're forgetting things because we're going on the fly all of a sudden. And we get there, and it's actually freezing cold. It's been so hot.
It was windy.
But it was so windy, and we didn't have warm clothes for us, and we didn't have warm clothes for the baby because it's California, and we're not expecting it to be cold. And of course, we do all this rushing around, and because we're rushing, Atlas and Equinox accidentally forgot to bring their tails. So they came in an Uber and then didn't have their tails, and Sean had to take them back to get their tails, and it was this whole ordeal.
But it worked out because the news crew was late. The news crew showed up like an hour or so late.
After making us panic all morning, the news crew was late. And then you'll see here Lexi Fleming in the chat. Lexi and I met on Friday, and Lexi's monofin broke. So I lent her my Mermaid Linden monofin and some of my Mertailor skins to try. So Lexi was the first new friend that I made. And she came, and I think she was one of the first people there, ready to go. Didn't know anybody yet, so super brave to come and meet people for the first time.
And showed up all by themselves.
Yeah, showed up all by herself. And we just kind of hit it off right away, didn't we, Lexi? You were my first friend, so thank you. So we had the baby. I did the newscast, but it was kind of weird. They wanted one of us standing and one of us sitting. And they had me do all this talking and hold the baby. But then later when they put the clip online, they cut me out of the clip. But that's okay because Mermaid Echo did amazing.
I did awesome.
It was just sad because I wanted to be in the clip with Echo. But when it was airing live, I was in it. So that was good. So so we did that whole thing, and then we spent the day in the pool. And once you got in the water, the pool was warm and everything.
The pool was nice.
But it was chilly, and so we went and got clothes for River at one point to warm him up. And then what did we do for supper? I think we probably did tacos or something. We did tacos a lot.
Like every other night.
Yeah, we did tacos a lot. Is really like tacos, so we did tacos a lot. And then Friday night. Oh yes, was it Friday that Gregory got the sunburn, or was it Saturday?
It was on the Friday. It started on the Friday, and I mean we all tried our best to keep from getting sunburned, but
I think it was just deceiving because it was so cold that you forget how warm it is. So poor Gregory got sunburned like a lobster, head down. He was totally burnt red. And so that was a bit tricky for him. So Friday night he watched River for us while we went to the dive bar, which was super cool because in our entire relationship, Sean and I in River's entire life, Sean and I have not had time to do something together by ourselves.
We didn't get to go out with each other.
No, we never get to go out. And it's not anyone's fault. There's just with COVID and with family stuff going on, there's nobody to watch River, and River breastfeeds and won't take a bottle. So that's really tricky. Actually, we did go out once when he was little, Eric, because we had to go to your dinner, but it was too soon for me, and I was not happy. It was too soon.
We went home early because we wanted to share things.
Okay, so
the dive bar was great.
The dive bar was amazing. It was packed full of people. Everyone started out with masks, but in order to do all the events, you had to have a COVID test that was negative, or you had to be at least double vaxxed, and have your vax pass and stuff, and masks and stuff. So it was actually really, really safe. So we go to the dive bar, and if you've never been to the dive bar, it's this very narrow bar. So picture just like a standard bar, but it's almost in like a hallway. And then the tank is above it. And so there's a space at one end for dancing, a space at another for like the bathroom and the upstairs where they go to get in the tank. But it's mainly just like this hallway and this bar. A few lovely merfolk bought me drinks, which was so nice because I'm not a big drinker, but I love getting those Moscow mules when I go to California. They usually put them in the copper cup, and that's really nice. So Alfonso got me a drink, and who else did? Aiden did. So that was kind of
It
cool.
was so nice to be back. Just so nice to be back after 3 years.
And our friends were performing. So Ashley, we had spent some time with Ashley the day before, I think. It was either Thursday or Thursday. We had spent some time with Ashley at her house. Ashley was amazing. She's one of the head dive bar people. She's the co-founder of the con and runs it. She lent us a stroller so that we wouldn't have to bring one with us on an international trip and like track it down on every flight and deal with all of that. So we borrowed this great stroller from her, and she had stuff for River, and her kids loved River. There was one morning we did a breakfast with them, I think Thursday morning, like waffles and everything. So that was lovely. And so Friday night we got to see Ashley perform in the Creature Fins tail.
It was so cool.
And Creature Fins they don't just do a tail. So she's made a tail piece, and then she's made a bodysuit, and then she's made a full head covering mask, and they're painted and blended so that when they're all together, it's seamless when it all comes together. So Ashley is wearing this, and she comes out into the tank just looking like this monster to Bad Guy by Billie Eilish. So that was cool. Like, just like seeing her do that.
A great job. Yeah.
Janessa, Mermaid Janessa did like this bit with fake swords. Like, she's a belly dancer by trade. So she was like doing kind of belly dancing thing underwater, and she had the swords, and then she had like a sailor's arm that she was gnawing and stuff, and then there were two lovers that went down and did a whole thing, and it's beautiful. And they're having a crown contest, and at the same time there is a movie that's there sponsoring the event, and so they have like a photo booth set up, and we're all getting photos together, and there's a big clamshell, and we're meeting new people that we haven't met before, and seeing old friends, and just dancing and having a good time. So when we were on the way, I forgot about this. We're on the way there. We're driving some of our friends. We're at a crosswalk, and I happen to look over, and I see these group of men, and I see this man who's totally fine, and he walks out in front of our car at the crosswalk and fakes fainting. Like
laid down.
This big dramatic thing, and then he's down on the ground, and he's like pretending that he's like having trouble breathing. And so everybody in the car is like, oh my gosh, we need to go help him. And you know what? If it was Nova Scotia, I would have gotten out. But I'm watching this guy, and I had just read a thing online about carjacking and about people doing this to carjack someone. So they fake being injured. You get out of the car, they come at you with a knife or a gun, and they take your car.
Yeah, or mug you.
Whatever. Or mug you or whatever. And I could just tell that this guy was perfectly fine. And so my friends are like, oh, we want to go help. We want to go help. And I'm like, no, we can't do that. That's a carjacker. That's a mugger. Like, just trust me. Trust me. And so as soon as Sean drove around this man, he got up totally fine, walked away, waited for the next car, did the same thing. So totally, that's exactly what that man was trying to do. So that was scary, a little scary, right? So back to the dive bar. We stayed until almost 11, which was pretty late for us. River did have a meltdown with Gregory at one point. And Gregory texted us. He's like, he had a meltdown, but I fixed it. So
yeah, he did so great. Honestly, we're so happy he could do that for us. And next year he'll be able to go because he'll be old enough finally. In Canada he can drink. He just can't drink in the States right now.
Yeah, so Gregory wasn't old enough. Here the drinking age is 19 or 18 in some places, but in the States it's 21. And of course he's a few months younger than 21, so he couldn't come. But we had a good time, and on the way out there was a mariachi band, like a huge mariachi band. They were just finishing a gig, and they were getting on their tour bus, and of course, I'm all in my costume, and they're playing on the street, and they stop, and they're like, oh, Mermaid, get a picture. So we got a picture, and I saw this woman waiting in line to get in, and she had a bag that looked like sushi, which was so cool. That was really cool. So yeah, so we had a good time Friday night, and we were a bit more prepared for Saturday for what to expect for the most part. So we got up Saturday morning, we have everything ready for River, we have everyone's stuff. We get there, and it's super, super, super hot, and our doctor had said, don't put River in direct sunlight because he's just so new to this world, and living here in Canada, he's not used to that kind of sun. So we had multiple different hats. Mermaid Chez Monique gave him a hat with a little shark on it, which was really nice.
It was so nice.
Actually, he got a few gifts, which we started getting while we were there, and I've got some organized. So our friend Victoria Garnett, she's a former Wiki Watching mermaid. She got River this book, Good Night Mermaids, which is so cute. And then I was giving out copies of Mermaid Lullaby by a local author and this coloring book. And I accidentally gave away my copies that I had brought for River. I accidentally gave them away to people.
We'll get some more.
I'm going to have to get some more. I'm working this book signing this weekend. But just like to like quickly show you, like these drawings are just, let's see here. So bright. There we go. Yeah, these drawings are just so beautiful.
It's super
Look at
cute.
the little
It's
mermaid
really cute.
babies. Yeah, so I was giving these out to people. They were so cute. And then I got that. And then she also gave me a necklace with a baby mermaid in it, which I loved. And Shay gave him the hat. And then Icarus made River this little vest. Look at this cute, adorable little thing.
We stored it on a teddy bear.
Yeah. Actually, is that upside? Yeah, this is the right side. So he made him this little vest. Yeah. And so what we did was like when he was wearing his tail, he had his tail on and he had the little vest. You want to put your vest on, Betty, and show everybody?
It's a little warm, but we can do it. I don't think we'll complain.
So that was so cute. So River was like the star of the show.
Oh my gosh.
He was stealing everything from everybody. He's in his cute little tail. He's in his little shark hat. He's in his little vest, and he's so famous. I keep just like a sidebar. This is a bear that I got when River was pregnant, or when River was pregnant. When I was pregnant with River, yeah. And it has his heartbeat. Put it near the microphone.
River loves the sound.
Yeah.
He's reaching for it.
Okay, show them all your vest, buddy.
See the vest? Ta-da.
See my vest. See my vest. It's a real fake shark vest. You look like Aladdin.
Chris totally eyeballed it too. Just put it together. I think it was the night before.
Bit me.
Yeah, just basically stitched it together, hoping it would fit, and it actually did. So just basically just guessed, and it was perfect. Absolutely perfect.
So we got that. And then the other cool thing is that there was a documentary film by Cynthia Wade being filmed. And Cynthia Wade, if you Google her, she is an Oscar-winning producer and director who has made some very well-known documentaries that went on to be adapted into movies. And so she's making a mermaid documentary, and she was at Mermagicon, and now she's at California Mermaid Con. Before we came to the convention, we did a Zoom interview. And then while we were there, they scheduled an interview with us. It was only supposed to be like half an hour, 45 minutes. It turned into almost 2 hours. Mm-hmm. They had me and River and then me by myself. And then they actually continued filming us throughout the convention. And now they want to come to Nova Scotia and film us, which is super cool. So that was pretty cool.
We were just lucky they stayed at the same hotel as us, too. It just turned out that they were in the same area, and they came over and before the promenade, they even filmed.
Yeah, I was going to get to that when I talk about the next day. So, she was just phenomenal. Their setup was really cool. They had an eye tracking camera, and they had this special mirror so that when I looked in the camera, I could actually see her. So I felt like I'm talking directly to her, even though she's off to the side. I could see her. And I cried a few times. They asked me really good questions. Not everybody was super comfortable with the interview questions, but I have a lot of experience with that. And I've been followed by a documentary before. So I kind of know how to redirect something. Like if they ask something that I don't have an answer for, or I don't want to answer, I'm really good at kind of being like, oh, well, and like spinning it to be what I want to talk about. So it went really well, I felt, but it took way more time than I thought. So when I came out, River was melting down. He was too hot. He was starting to get heat stroke. Mm-hmm. So I had to get Gatorade with a little syringe, and we were like pumping it into him because he was so hot. He didn't want to eat. And he felt sick. He didn't feel well. So there were vendors and there was swimming, and I did pictures and video with all my friends. I didn't really get to buy anything from the vendors. There wasn't a whole lot that I was interested in. There was a lot of great stuff, but we were so tight in our luggage. I had to be careful with what I was buying. Cariel was there vending for Fenice, and Fat Mermaid Society was there. Mermaid at Any Age was there. Yep. All the local companies were there, like Mermaid and Mom.
The movie that was being promoted as well.
The movie, I don't actually, Urzuli, is that how they said it?
I think so.
Yeah, so I didn't go see the movie because of River. And just like trigger warning, it includes RAPE in the film. So it's going to be on iTunes and you can watch it. But that's not something I'm comfortable watching. But I hear that the movie is really great. We met the actress. We saw her tail. She got pictures with River. I hope it's a success for them. It's just not content that I'm comfortable watching. So that's fine. But it was good. So Saturday that went okay. we came home and tried to have a nap with River, and we got ready for the ball. The ball was mostly outside with a little bit inside. So if you went inside, you would have to wear a mask, but most of the stuff was outside, and there were vendors there as well. So I wore that blue dress for the ball with the red hair and the crown, and I got this from one of the vendors, Kelpie Dreams, who has actually been a big follower of mine for a long time.
So good.
I wish I had the budget to buy 2 of these because I love it so much, but I did not have the budget because, you know, Canadian pricing versus American pricing. Okay, it's a little tangled right now, but you get the idea. It's really beautiful. So everybody on my team got some of these, which was nice. I think Gregory got 2. I think he got a clip
he has another one that's being sent to him. He bought one there and bought a second.
Yeah, I would like to have a custom one made. I really like it. Yeah, speaking of, I actually sold the dive bar my mini splash tail. And when I say sold, I didn't charge them like a regular amount because that was given to me as a gift. I sent it to them. I basically brought it and charged them just the shipping fees and the import fees, basically. So that's what we did with that. And I also gave them each, so Ashley and Rachel split it, and I gave them each a Merbella's headdress to go with it because the Merbella's headdresses, they're beautiful, but they don't really go with any of my tails anymore. And it was just kind of like a thank you gift for Ashley and Rachel for all their hard work at the convention, right? So yeah, so I got this from Kelpie Dreams. We did that. River was totally like not here for the ball. Before we left the building, the hotel, he had this cute little sailor outfit on with suspenders and a little like 4th of July bow tie. He pooped, and the poop went like head to toe
through everything.
We were in our nice clothes, and we had to put him into the tub, and it was just we had to tell people don't go in the bathroom. It's a huge mess. There's poop everywhere. Seconds before we left, and we got there, and it was my hope that he would sleep in the stroller once it got late. So we got there, it's still light out. We watched a performer with the aerial silks. There was a mermaid themed band, which was really cool.
Great.
There were several photo stations. There were belly dancers. There was live music. Mermaid Glimmer was there in her light up tail. It was so gorgeous, but River had like a meltdown. And so as a mama, like hearing him cry like that, I had to take him away for a bit. It was overwhelming. We brought him like those noise canceling headphones, and we couldn't find them for the actual part that we needed them. So I have him in the stroller and he's asleep, and I go off to the side of the event, like away from people. And these couple who aren't even there for the event, they're just like walking or whatever. I think they've been drinking, and they were just like obnoxiously loud. I'm like, oh, a baby stroller. And they're like being loud, and it wakes them up. But I'm like, you idiot. So once he woke up, there was no getting him back to sleep. And I just felt bad. So I got Sean to drop me and River off at the hotel because it's very close to the venue. Sean came back and enjoyed the rest of the event. And River and I went to bed early. I was kind of sad to miss it. Next year, I think Ashley and I are going to split on childcare so that all our kids can be watched. This year going into it, like I don't know anybody in California, and I'm not comfortable just like leaving my kid with strangers. But if my kid is with Ashley's kids with someone that she trusts, that would be like a different thing. Plus, he'll be 18 months old by then, so it'll be a different ball game, right? Like he won't need me to go to sleep, hopefully. So yeah, so that was the ball. That was great. Sunday was another busy day. The documentary crew came to see us, and they actually filmed us getting ready. They didn't know who I was at first because they'd only ever seen me with a pink wig, I think. And so I came out, I was like, hi, it's great to see you. And the director was like, hi. I was like, it's Raina. And they were like, what? And yeah, and I actually, like, I had my hair back under a hairnet too. So they like didn't know who I was at all. And then they realized it was pretty funny. So they filmed me like getting all my makeup ready. They filmed me breastfeeding River, which was kind of cool. They filmed us going to the parade. And then at the parade, I was dancing in the parade. I had my pants, my jingly pants that I love. I just love them so much. I don't know what else I'm going to do with these after wearing them for a convention.
Just wear them all summer.
I should just like wear them to like my family reunion, right? It looks like a diaper. Like it's so big. Everything looks like a diaper to me these days. All right, so we did the parade. It was stinking hot, 39 degrees.
Yep.
And it was brutal. So,
but it was amazing. Like at least there was a bit of a breeze, and people there were vendors, there were places to get some drinks. You could get, I think there was the shaved ice vendor again, but all the stores are right next door. So
oh yeah, and I forgot to say that, like, at the venue for the whole con, there was like all this greenery area and trees, and so people were setting up picnic areas out there, right? And then Sean went and bought umbrellas because we didn't have parasols or anything, so he got some like Pride umbrellas so we could carry umbrellas and have some shade because the Canadians.
We did use them a few times, and then we donated them to the dive bar in case anyone needed them later.
We couldn't bring
them home.
Right?
We were so shy in the space.
We just did not have space. You can try taking him to bed if you want. Or...
Yeah, sure. If you want to keep going,
I'll keep talking. If it's going to be a big freak out, bring him back out. But I'll be back in a minute, buddy. I'll try to wrap up. You're doing okay, sweet boy. You're doing okay. Okay, so the parade, yeah. So this was really a bizarre experience for me. So you know that I've done a documentary before, and I'm actually in talks with Kevin, who did that documentary, to see if we can put it on YouTube so that you guys can watch it. I think some of you have seen it. Long story short, we're not doing anything with it at the moment, and it's like from 2017, so it's like 5 years old now. It's not super relevant, but it would still be cool for people to see. So I've done the documentary thing before, but it was like a small 2-person crew. This was like a crew of people, and they were waiting on me hand and foot. They wanted to get the shots, so they like assigned me somebody to help with River. And I was like, are you sure? Because I'm like using a syringe to give him electrolytes because it's so hot, and I don't want him to have heat stroke again. And yeah, this woman was awesome. She like had him in the shade. She had a little fan going on him, a little mister. She was giving him the drinks every time. She was feeding him. She was playing with him. And she just basically took care of River so that I could go do all my parade stuff and get all the shots. And Merman Maui did like a choreographed dance thing. And the camera people were like, we would love for you to do that. And I'm like, cool. I didn't learn the dance because I have dyspraxia and I can't dance and I don't enjoy dancing. It's not fun for me. And they're like, oh, but like Mermaid Shay is going to do it. And like, just fake it. It'd be really nice to see you dance with all the mermaids. So I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So there's all these great videos on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook of people doing the dance. And there's me in the background being like, oh yeah, I look like I'm doing Thriller. Maui's like super graceful, and Raina's like, da, 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 which I'm doing the wrong direction. La, 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 la. So it was still really fun. They had these drummers there who were really great. Shay Monique and I were doing all kind of dance and stuff. Like that was really fun. And it was really, really nice. And then after that, we went to an after party for the staff we got invited to, which was really nice. They usually invite us because we travel from another country and we're friends with all the staff. That was really, really nice. We were going at such a breakneck speed that we really did not get to see our friends, talk to our friends. I had gifts for them and things. It was just all go, 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 all business. I really liked doing the documentary stuff, but I didn't have time to do the things I wanted. Lexi, you and I barely saw each other on Saturday. We saw each other mostly Friday because I was so busy on Saturday. It was kind of a bummer for me. I'm glad I got to do the documentary, but I'm sad that I didn't get to spend more time with people. So Sunday we go and we have like a little after party at Mermaid Krista's house, and she just bought a new house, and it's mind-blowing to me because before Sean and I left for California, we were considering putting a bid in on a house here in Nova Scotia, and the housing market here is insane. It's like $500,000 for a piece of crap, like 1 or 2 bedroom. It's insane. So we had found this place and we were kind of humming and hawing, and in the end, we decided not to bid on it. And then Krista got this gorgeous house, even when you take into consideration the USD versus Canadian, it was still like 3 times the size of the house we were looking at for almost less than half of what we were being asked to pay in Nova Scotia, which is like rural, middle of nowhere, not a lot of people on the ocean, kind of like, it's not California. It's crazy that our prices are that high. Sidebar, when we came home, we found out that the house we were looking at sold for $100,000 over asking. Like, that is so insane to me. I'm never going to own a house at this rate. Oh, it was crazy. So Chris's house is gorgeous. I love it. Her husband's a musician who's a Canadian. I got to see all of his cool stuff. They had a hot tub, which was really nice. We all brought food and contributed food and had snacks. I got to hang out with Mermaid Rachel and Mermaid Rachel's mom. We gave Rachel the tail. I brought a bunch of tails and let people try them. We got Merman Jacks and River in matching tails. So we had them like in this. It was so cute. Super, super cute. Great time doing that. Monday was kind of like a shopping day. We had some places we wanted to go. I really wanted to see a Hot Topic because we don't have access to them where I live. I was hoping to get some Little Mermaid stuff. I actually did not find much. I went to Hot Topic and this other store, something of a boxed lunch. We don't have that here either. So I got a couple of things. One thing I got is a Sailor Moon ramen noodle bowl. I love Sailor Moon, but when I was growing up as a kid, you couldn't get any Sailor Moon stuff. It was all like bootlegged if you were lucky. So this was sort of like, I love pho. So this is going to be my bowl for pho. I also got these Disney Princess affirmation cards, which I really like. So you can like pull out a card and there's an affirmation on each card. So like if I just pull out Belle, it says, I am different. I'm the author of my own story. I won't be afraid to write something new and different. Being different makes me special. So little affirmations I really like. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you these things that I got from Merman Icarus. And also this was River's little, we called these hats a Southwester. So this is River's little Southwester hat we brought for when it rains. And it didn't rain because I don't know why I was thinking it would rain in California. It doesn't rain. So Icarus made me these things that he calls mirrors. So it's like mermaid ears. And I love them so much, but my ears stick out really far. So I have trouble wearing them. So yeah, check that out. It's supposed to like be a bit closer. So when I wear them, I have to kind of like double-sided tape them so that they stay in place. Because as soon as I go like that, they come off. Sean, on the other hand, has perfect little ears. Like I have big ears. See, they're pretty big for a girl. Sean has the kind of ears that like they go here, and they're like little elf ears. So they're close to his head. So he's able to wear these a lot better than I am. There we go. I think I can kind of like get them. So I can wear them, but it takes like a whole setup to do with double-sided tape. But then they're great. So yeah, they're supposed to kind of be like this, but because my ears are big, they come out. They don't stay on very well. Anyway, Sean borrowed them and they looked fantastic on Sean. I still plan to wear them for some pictures and stuff. I'm just going to have to glue them. I think they're really cool. See those? Yeah. And he also made me a replacement circlet because mine from a few years ago broke. And I love these. I put them on with my wigs and I use them to cover the lace front and to hold the wigs in place when I swim. So that is like a really big help. It looks kind of funny with my blonde hair, but I use them with wigs. Super comfy, super soft. So thank you to Merman Icarus. Yeah, so Monday was kind of a shopping day. And then Tuesday we drove to the California mountains. I have to think of the time now. We kind of squeezed in this visit with Mermaid Glimmer. She had a cottage in the mountains, and it was 26 degrees out Celsius, and there was snow. It was really weird. I've never seen anything like that. I've never gone skiing. We don't really have much for mountains here. It was very strange for me to see. So there were piles of snow in this heat. It was crazy. And she's on a lake and it's like glacier fed and everything. Anyway, we kind of squeezed in this visit and we did a little photo shoot. We did a little hike. We all had a barbecue dinner. We had a nice sleep in the cottage. It was wonderful. And then we drove an hour and a half back. We got Iz off on the plane and then we still had the full day ahead of us on Wednesday before we flew home. So Wednesday we went to the zoo. I really wanted to go to the zoo. We don't really have zoos here. I really wanted to see a giraffe. So I took River to see the giraffe and River fed the giraffe and River grabbed the tongue of the giraffe, which is kind of funny. But again, it was 39 degrees at the zoo. It was so hot. I mean, the animals weren't coming out. We rode the little merry-go-round and then they have misters and stuff like it's such a culture shock to me to kind of have that because it's so hot. It just doesn't get that hot where I live. And we could not finish the zoo. It was really cool to do, but we couldn't finish it because it was too hot. So we got some like Dippin' Dots. That was like a thing that like Gregory was freaking out over. I'd never had them before. And I got a hat. I should have got this at the beginning of the trip. One of the things I noticed too is that the stores, even if they were the same stores that we have in Canada, they had way more content than we have at our stores. So that was kind of wild. And I forgot one of those nights, maybe it was Monday night, we did Korean barbecue with Echo and Aiden, and that was really fun too. And River tried a whole bunch of food. It was a bit pricey, but it was kind of like a treat, and we enjoyed that. He's asleep? Oh, good. He fell asleep. I'm kind of all over the place here. I'm having trouble staying on topic. I am on topic, but I was just talking about the zoo and how culture shock it was for the heat and everything.
Oh my gosh, 39 for us, which is like, what is it, 110 down there or whatever.
Oh, it was crazy. So yeah, we didn't really get to do the entire zoo. It was just too much.
Yeah.
But then we had planned to do dinner with everybody and to have like a formal goodbye. And literally as we were in the car on our way going to dinner, our phones go off and our flight is way earlier than we thought it was. Yeah. So we literally were on the road going to the restaurant and had to say, sorry guys, we have to go to the airport. We got everything mixed up.
So I'm glad we did. I mean, honestly, we got there, we got the car dropped off. River fell asleep with us and we just slept in the car. We got there, got everything unpacked, got the bags checked, and then we were in there and it was like an hour until our flight took off. So.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. It was just sad because we didn't get to have real goodbyes.
Yeah.
We didn't get to hug our friends. And we haven't seen them in 3 years, right?
3 years, yeah.
We didn't get to hug them. We didn't get to kind of debrief on things and have that goodbye and have the meal and everything. It was just kind of like, oh, remember how we were going for dinner? See you later. Sorry.
It's just been so long since we saw everyone. And it really was nice to catch up, but it felt like it was just an absolute, just like, so fast. You barely got a chance to say hi and get to know anyone before you were gone again.
That was sad.
Yeah, and a week, you think that a week would be enough time to catch up with everything. And we could have been there probably 2 weeks and still not caught up with everyone.
It's just a lot. It was a lot to have 2 of our team members with us and have the baby and then have responsibilities that we were doing. Sean calls it a vacation and I argue with him a little bit because like it was fun, but to me it wasn't a vacation.
Me, busy vacations are the type of vacations that I'm used to. I think we tend to work at some different speeds and Raina tends to slow me down to enjoy the ride and I tend to speed everything up and pack in as much as we possibly can. So sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
I enjoyed everything we did. Don't get me wrong. I just wish that no, it wasn't that it got pushed early. It was that we were looking at the time for the second flight, which was much later, and we got it confused as the first one.
With all the security precautions and getting the car back in time and getting everything fixed, it meant being to the airport 3 hours before a flight took off.
Because it's international.
It's an international flight. The car had to be returned. The car return area is not exactly where the airport is.
You have to take a bus.
So I had to go drop off the car, go through the checklist with River, who was sound asleep up until we returned the car, put him back in the pouch, get back on the bus, return to the airport, get the bags checked. And then I think I lost one of River's hats because I was stupidly wearing his hat and then it fell off of my head. And we had to go through and we had to get his little passport checked because we have this little baby passport for River and they didn't have his baby passport in their system. So we had to go to one area, get our bags checked, get us checked in, then go get River checked in separately because we went down with Air Canada and we came back with United.
And we had extra luggage, right? Gregory had an extra bag. So he had 2 large bags and his carry-on. I had my bag and another large bag and my carry-on and River's diaper bag. Yep. Like it was so much stuff. It was hard.
And 3 hours almost wasn't enough. We got there and then all the restaurants were closing on the way out and it's the typical stuff. If things aren't back to normal in so many ways. The hotels, my heart goes out to them. The staff was awesome. The people were great. The people that they had like half staff. Everybody's at like half
the Canadian flights required masking. The American flights did not. The Canadian airports required masking. The American ones did not. We did not catch COVID on the trip.
I was amazed with all of that stuff going on. And I know it's like BA2 going around right now, 95% or whatever through the States. And there's all these other new ones. And same with Canada. And it's just there's so much going on. I could have sworn this was the time I was going to get it because I haven't had it yet.
Yeah.
So.
Oliver has to go to bed soon because he has to be
up.
up
Oh my gosh, you've been up so late. Yeah.
So we are wrapping up. If you have to go, you're not going to miss much, I promise.
No.
But overall, it was a really good trip. It took us a while to kind of recover when we got home. River's sleep is still not great. He was fantastic on the trip. But I think we just kept him going. So when it was time to go to bed, he was out cold. And now that we're home and we have sort of a different pace and he's teething and growing more, it's been a little bit rough. I got an endo attack when I got back. So I'm glad it didn't happen on the trip, but I'm now on day 8 of this attack. So I've been taking a little break from some of my online stuff. I have scheduled posts that are coming out because I'm just like in pain and not sleeping and feeling a little like I'm dealing with depression. There's nothing wrong. It's just chemicals from starting new medication for the endometriosis. So there's nothing wrong, but I am staying, I am feeling a bit depressed. So I'm just trying to cope with that.
And we still have lots on the go though. Like we're slowing down because the trip took a lot out of us, but we still have World Oceans Day on Wednesday.
Yeah, as soon as we got home, we were filming for a TV show, and that may turn into some big stuff too. A different TV show. So we'll talk about that later because I want to wait until we've got stuff figured out there. But that was a big deal. And now we're starting into gigs. I'm volunteering for World Oceans Day on Wednesday for 4 or 5 hours, which is a lot with the baby. Saturday, I'm doing a book signing and we have a wedding. Sunday, we're meeting up with friends to take River to a petting zoo because we don't want River to just be stuck doing mermaid stuff, right? We're trying to do other things and expose him to other things too. And
but it's been a lot of fun. Actually, including River with all of this has been a huge adventure. I'm going to be making a River, California convention video for the Mermaid family. I'm going to make that probably this week. We've got a couple other videos already made. We've got an interview with Shay Monique. We've got all kinds of different stuff that we're still going to put out.
Oh, yeah, we did. I totally forgot we did that interview with Shay Monique Tuesday, maybe, before we left or something. Such a good
speaker. Oh, my gosh.
God, she's amazing. So we have that interview coming up here, too. She's amazing. She talked about the Fat Mermaid Society and the Black Lives Matter movement in terms of mermaids. What an amazing, well-spoken woman. So cool. Lizzo and Cyndi Lauper have both commented on her TikTok
for good reason. Their stuff is incredible. Like there's so much good content there. There's such a good message there. It's honestly, it was a pleasure to finally sit down and just listen to all of that. It was amazing.
I wish we had time to do this video sooner when things were still fresh in our mind because I feel like I keep forgetting things. But one thing I wanted to say is that the event was really, really inclusive. Really inclusive. Like they really worked hard to be inclusive to everybody. And just make everyone feel like they're part of it. Nothing is ever going to be perfect, but for the first one since COVID, like it was really, really good. And I think it's only going to get better. The new facility and location was fantastic. The dive bar was fantastic. The parade was fantastic.
I'm excited to go back next year. I am.
And River will be older and it'll be easier on us. And I am looking forward to next year too. Already planning. I did an online workshop beforehand. Maybe next year I can do one in person or something because he'll be a bit older. But it was just really fun. And I had River in the kids' pool and he had his little mermaid tail on and everybody liked it. We want to come back and see you again, Lexi. I've got you on Facebook.
Yeah.
I met Lexi's parents too at the bar. They were really cute.
Yeah, you broke your shoe. I think you mentioned that earlier. And I know that you were basically dancing your butt off. You had a lot of fun. So
it was really fun. I love making new friends and just I love having new adventures. And I think also when you get home from a big event like this, you get a little sad too, because it's just like, it's going to be a whole year before I see my friends again. And who knows what will happen. I'm hoping that if I was telling them about the housing market, I'm hoping if we do get a house that we can host, like Jax would like to come here and see things. Rachel would like to come here. So
even Shay was saying, if you ever had an opportunity or you want to do something, let me know. So I invited them up. So
yeah, I mean, it's hard for people to go international. It's hard.
Canada's a whole different thing too. I mean, we've got different travel restrictions. Not everyone's used to international travel. A lot of people have exclusively traveled in the States. So it's a different ballgame all over again.
It is really different, and going through customs can be invasive. We were so lucky this time; it was no problem at all. But
we were so lucky.
Other times we've got, like, River kept getting us priority boarding. They kept being like, "Oh, come on, come to the front."
I've been joking that we're going to lease River out for vacation packages for other people's families, because you just strap the baby on there, and all of a sudden you're front and center, and you're in front of the line, and then you're over here. And we got through, like Toronto, we should have been stuck in line for maybe 2 hours. And we were through in a half an hour.
Yeah.
Front of the line every time we showed up to a line, front of the line.
It was an expensive trip though. We used like our rewards points on our credit cards and then also money, obviously. But like just with the USD, like it's 30% more for Canadians. Like our dollar is 30% less.
Yeah. Plus inflation these days.
And inflation and stuff. So I mean, it was like we are set back a little bit, but we decided it was worth it because we hadn't done a vacation since 2019.
Yeah.
So it was worth it, but it is going to take a little bit of like careful budgeting to like get back out of that because we want to buy a house and the market is so crazy. I mean, we can't just keep doing these in our tiny apartment. I really want to have a mermaid cave and we set up a permanent studio and it's just done. And if we land a TV show, maybe that'll happen.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen?
It's exciting to get back out and start new things again and see people again. And there's so much positive energy right now. It's been really nice just to catch up again. Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching our live stream. I am going to end it there because we just hit an hour. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're watching this later after it's already aired, I apologize for that first 5 minutes being a bit bumbly while we tried to figure things out. You'd think that YouTube would be like easy to navigate for having a live stream, with Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, you just press one button. YouTube, it's this whole
This is
ordeal.
why they're still struggling with Twitch is still got a more polished interface.
They wanted me to use like a separate software that like integrated.
We'll set up OBS next time. It's just at one point they need to make it easy for everybody so that we don't have to fumble through this again.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
It is what it is. I'm just glad that we can do this and catch up this way because it's so much easier to just get through everything at once. And
we're going into a busy couple weeks. So if you follow us on Patreon, we have some great scheduled posts that are going to be popping up, but I'm not as active on Discord or on Patreon at the moment because I'm just literally like so overwhelmed.
I try to jump in there to make up for it.
And he relays everything to me.
Yeah.
Like I do hear about things. It's just like with the baby, it's like wants my attention 24/7. I'm not feeling well. I have so much stuff to get on top of. And ever since I had COVID, I'm having a lot of mental fog. It reminds me of when I had a concussion. So like you hear me umming a lot, like I'm literally forgetting words. It's been stressful. So
but and the medication, all this other stuff, it'll do that.
There's just a lot. Yep. It's just a lot right now. And this has always happened.
But if anyone is watching later too, and I got photos with you or I got video with you and you want some of that footage, just send me a message, let me know.
He's merwrangler on Instagram and Sean Norman on Facebook. Yep. He doesn't use Facebook a lot, but he does monitor the messages.
I monitor the messages. I monitor all the stuff. I just don't post that many things. There's just too much to do. There's too many videos to edit. Yeah. But if I've got a picture or something, or you need something from us,
I forgot to say, I got to try a creature fin's tail. There's going to be some video.
There's been a bunch of videos.
I've already edited it. It was crazy. Yeah. It was insane. I put it on without lube. It was a full silicone tail. It was so stretchy and durable. I have never used a silicone tail that durable before. I don't know. It's like voodoo magic. Like she's magic.
Wonderful artist.
Her stuff is magic. Yep. It definitely makes me want to own one day. Like,
for sure.
So anyway, that's everything that I can think of right now. Thank you for joining the live stream. We love you. We appreciate you. Please check us out on patreon.com/Raina Mermaid. If you don't already, don't forget you can use our code Raina10, all capital letters. It works at Mertailor, it works at Slip-ins, and it works now at Goggles too. I'm going to try my Goggles in the mermaid tank.
Oh yeah.
So that I can see what I'm doing. Yep. Yeah. So we love you so much. Stay safe and have fun. This is like howling. Joanne McLeod.
Oh yeah.
Stay safe.
I think that's a Canadian thing.
No, they were on Santa Clarita Diet, and they're on.
I forgot about that show. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you so much. We love you. Thanks for joining, Lexi.
Cool.